You get paid. You get a paycheck, but you walk by. You get a paycheck.
I'm donating my paycheck, sir, and would happily be on legislation
what do you say to them?
not to give.
What do you say to the staff? What do you say to the TSA workers? What do you say to the air traffic controllers? What do you say to the military?
What I am saying to you is it's a Republican shutdown, my friend. You are in control of the White House. You are in control of the House, and you are in control of the Senate.
And
if you went home to a food bank instead of going to Mar-a-Lago to eat at a gold-plated dinner while people are starving, you might see and hear your constituents, sir. You are blind to the suffering of your people.
That was Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada refusing to let her Republican colleague from Ohio, Senator Bernie Moreno, gaslight her and the country about who is responsible, who has caused the shutdown and the consequences for millions of Americans to lose their access to food stamps as the longest government shutdown in our country's history drags on. In spite of the shutdown, some in the Senate, like Rosen, are still trying to hold Donald Trump accountable in the eyes of the American people. In the next hour, the Senate will vote on a bipartisan war powers resolution aimed to block the Trump administration from conducting strikes like the ones we have seen in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific against alleged drug trafficking boats. I want to bring into our coverage Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada. She's a member of the Armed Services, Foreign Relations, and Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committees. Thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me. There's just a lot going on these days.
Just a little bit. First, tell me what you're able to do, if anything, about what was announced by the Trump administration, a reduction in air traffic control, which sounds both dangerous and logistically nightmarish.
Well, what I can tell you that Donald Trump, and it's his shutdown, like I said to Senator Moreno, and I can talk a little bit more about it, why we got into that exchange yesterday. But Donald Trump is in charge of the White House. He's actually Speaker of the House these days, as he alleges himself, and he's pretty much in control of the Senate. He could stop this shutdown right now by calling a group of Democrats and Republicans together to work on preserving the accessibility and affordability for health care for tens of millions of Americans who are about to fall off a cliff at the end of this year. Whether you get your health care on the exchanges or through your employer, everybody's health care is going up. People are going to have to make those tough choices in the next few weeks. And Donald Trump, instead of thinking and listening to himself in 2011 and 2013 when he said a real leader would bring people together and a shutdown would be on the president, he's choosing to inflict the most pain possible, eliminating and reducing SNAP, closing down the airports, instead of addressing the issue of health care. This is about people's dignity, their ability to go to the doctor.
I know it's dangerous to compare Trump to everyone who came before him, but every president that came before him, when they receive a result in the midterms or an off-year election that goes against their party, which happens almost all of the time, they use it as not an excuse, but sort of a rationale and a public way to reposition themselves as more conciliatory. For about 9.5 seconds, Trump seemed to acknowledge that the shutdown led to the Republican wipeout on Tuesday night. Did it lead to any negotiating with Democrats in Congress?
Well, I don't even think it's in his personality to give 9.5 seconds of reflection to anything. It's all about him. You saw him say, I wasn't on the ballot, that's why everybody lost. He was on the ballot. His policies were on the ballot. People's lives are no better. Affordability is no better for families. Every month, people come and to their kitchen table to pay their bills. They want to be able to afford their rent, afford their health insurance, pay their car payment, maybe go on a vacation, whatever it is they need to do. So utilities are up, food is up, rent is up, tariffs causing a lot of that. Our immigration policies are just wreaking havoc in our communities. And now, on top of all of that, you're one accident or diagnosis away from something changing your life this fast. And if you don't have health care, you could lose it all in a skinny minute. And Donald Trump is incapable of self-reflection.
The the work that is going on during the shutdown to try to hold the Pentagon accountable for the strikes against what is alleged to be drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, without much evidence provided that that is indeed who they're hitting. What is the effort intended to do? Are you trying to increase access to the intelligence being used, or to the actual sort of chain of command carrying out the attacks? What is the hope?
Well, I think it's all of that. So I'm grateful to Senator Kaine and all of the other senators that have worked on this. I sit on both Senate Foreign Relations and Armed Services, and I can tell you that we get no communication on the Democratic side from this administration. And if you watch some of our hearings, even on the Republican side, they do not have direct communication with either the White House or the Pentagon when it comes to this issue. And so the president is not allowed. Of course, he says he can be the president for peace. Where is the peace in just bombing willy-nilly boats, fishing boats? We don't know what they are out in the ocean, or saying that you're going to invade Venezuela. You need to come to Congress. You need to show us that intelligence. You need to show us a justification for doing what clearly may be a violation of international law, and he can't enter into an unprovoked war just because he feels like it. So this is going to hold him accountable. We hope that this passes. You'll see the vote about 5 o'clock tonight. He needs to come to Congress with any intelligence, anything else he has that would indicate that these attacks are necessary.
Senator Jackie Rosen, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. We're grateful.